All hail. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 6 of Back to Galactica here on the NDB Media Network. Today is February 1st, 2024. I don't know if they celebrate it in space, but tomorrow is Groundhog Day, and we're looking for good news. Doesn't look like it out here, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. As I mentioned, this is Back to Galactica. We're reviewing the 1978 OG and we're going to get to it. You know who I am? Off to my left, Admiral Michael. Good evening, Michael. How are you?
Pretty good. Doing good today.
Excited for these two episodes? Maybe three, maybe four? No, just kidding, just two.
Just two. Just two.
And over beyond Michael, which I guess geographically is correct. If you're looking at, I'm on West Coast. He is, and he's further. Admiral Greg, how you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
All right. So what's the weather like out there? We've been rain
Chile.
all day.
Chile.
Chile? What?
Slicker and snot.
Like slicker than I had not heard that one before. That was
That's
good.
a northern New England thing.
I had not heard that one. That's funny. I don't know what we have out here, but Baltar, we're out on the West Coast. How you doing? How apropos that you and I are. Michael Day is my Lucifer.
Yes.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like
Well,
that.
you did ask who my Lucifer was.
Oh, did I really? I thought it was just a
Yes.
piece. Or as some writers like to say, that was a throwaway line.
Oh,
Ah.
Bob.
Oh, wow. That
Well,
might
you
have hit
might
with the
be-
producers here.
Yeah. Well, you might be getting all the rain, but we're getting all the warm and the mosquitoes. So I'll
Ooh,
trade you.
already?
But you have a bunch of
Oh
cows.
my God, yes.
So isn't
can
that like
have
part of the food chain thing? No?
I am not part of the food chain.
No, the mosquitoes are the cows. Well, actually, we all are part of the food chain if you think about it.
Oh no,
Yeah.
the mosquitoes think I have very tasty blood because they're
Ooh.
constantly attacking me.
Oh, you
Oh,
must
well,
taste like my wife. They love her too.
Yeah, they love my daughter too.
In my family, my oldest, poor thing, we all four of us can go out, but my oldest daughter, oh my God, it's like she's got this, the bullseye on her. Mosquitoes find her and never cease. But speaking of finding and never ceasing, ladies and gentlemen, Squire Adama, Lord of Beryllium, which I thought was Valerium, but again, I'm watching some other movie. How you doing, Squire Admiral? Adama? Oh, darn it.
My crops are blighted here in Belerium. And I would just like to say, I ain't never even seen a 3-level pyramid.
Oh God, that's good.
So that's the end of our review? Is that what you're saying?
Ladies and gentlemen, that one takes us right to it.
Oh,
I'm
my.
going to ask Squire Adama. I should have asked him right before, but before I even do the intro, we should just have Squire Adama just do fleeing from us. Oh, no, wait. No, sorry. Not that one. That's at the end.
That's at the end.
No,
That's the
There
outro.
is no, well, the opening voiceover is
the opening voiceover.
Magni,
Yeah.
of course.
Yes, which is absolutely awesome. Maybe we should actually begin that way with having you do that. That would be awesome. Folks, we are going to try to get to 2 episodes tonight. We're going to be doing episodes 11 and 10. I'm sorry, 10 and 11. The first one is, of course, season 1, episode 10, The Magnificent Warriors, written by Glenn A. Larson. So he's the one to blame and no one else. And it was directed by Christian I. Nyby II, otherwise known as Junior. But that's all right. Let's get to it. What are some of your thoughts? Who wants to go first? I don't think we have to go beat by bit on this one, but it's up to you guys. There were some funny lines. One of them for me was at the very end, and that was Apollo referencing Starbuck. I loved it. It's near the very end. It was really good. And Squire Adama, I'm sure, knows which line I'm referring to.
Referencing Starbuck?
Yes. Oh wait, the Magnificent Warriors. Oh wait. Yeah, it wasn't this one. It was at the very end of the episode. Yes.
I can't place the line you're thinking of.
Okay. Yeah, I know. There's like 800 lines in the whole episode. So, but at the very end, you guys will remember it. It was really funny. I chuckled at the very. I had forgotten that line, but we'll get to it in a little bit, folks. It begins. Vipers on patrol. 6 Cylons break through, and 2 aggro ships or Agra. I'm not sure. I don't know. Please correct me, Trey. and
I'll go with the O.
aggro
Yeah.
word.
Aggro ship. Yeah.
But he's my accent. I had trouble hearing. Sometimes I do not know. So, but
Yes, feeding with all.
no, we're not going to do Zorro the Gay Blade right now. But anyway, and they said we
This is
need
my
new
favorite movie.
seed. We need an unmarked energizer. And Cyrus Bellamy comes into the episode. Wow, talk about someone coming aboard, just chewing the scenery, man. She was fun in this episode. So,
It was
She
an
was, but you know who
unremarkable
she reminded
episode
me
that
of?
I did. Oops, sorry.
That's okay.
hold,
I said,
hold
you
on.
know who she actually reminded me of?
No,
Was
who?
Alexana Troy.
That's what
Alexana
Stu
Troy
said
was
last
hard.
night.
That's funny. I did not think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean,
Indeed.
Adama feared her, did not like her, and he says, "You know that no one can tell Cyrus Bellamy what to do." That
Force
was
to be
rather
reckoned
Poor
with.
Apollo just kind of threw him in there, like fed him to the wolves, pushed him in, and shut the door.
Well, I know Apollo has him on one arm. I'm not sure who has him. Was it Boomer or was it
It
Starbuck?
was Boomer.
Oh no,
It
no,
was
no! It
Boomer.
was Colonel Ty, right?
It was
Yeah.
Ty.
Yeah.
Oh, was it Ty?
It
Oh
was
God, yeah,
Ty.
it was.
Yeah, it
And
was
they're
Ty.
taking him, and he's got the bouquet of roses. And oh my God, Lauren Green plays a part of a little kid, who he says, "Oh, this isn't gonna work. No, you go in, Apollo. You go, romanticizer." Oh my God, that was actually funny. I'm not sure if this was her first real attempt at humor, a comedy episode, but there's a lot of it in it, and it was really good. And I love how it's been a long, long time. Adama, sit,
And he sat.
and I love her line. She goes, "That's your line. Sit down. Let's negotiate." After all these years, and then she lays it on the table. I want you. I mean, there's no games to be played. It's just straight out. It's just really funny. And Adama, a fish out of water. It's obvious. He knew what he was going to get. That's why I didn't want to go in there. It was funny. I have to admit, I haven't seen it in a long time. It was funny. Your thoughts, guys?
I was looking at the script to this episode,
Yes.
and there's some backstory that we didn't actually get. She and Adama did have a relationship way back when. We're not told the extent of it, but we're told that she was very, very hurt when Adama got married to Isla, and
Yeah.
she took up the occupation of basically scavenging and salvage of just collecting all kinds of equipment that had value, and that's why she had this energizer. So a little bit of backstory on the character.
Interesting.
That's cool.
It's interesting how, and I appreciate that, Squire, in that they take the time to write up it's not necessarily the Bible, because she was not a recurring character, but it's what they give them to work. We've had the privilege of speaking with so many people where we ask them, okay, what did they tell you? What was the prep? And so many say, here are your lines.
Well, they probably just wrote the lines about 5 minutes before they got on set. That was the case sometimes. They were constantly revising.
That is true. When we get to that episode, you're going to see it, folks. I've talked about it. There is a very famous episode of Battlestar Galactica where all of them have said, if you look at all of us, we're all sitting around. I think it's in the pilot's mess, and everyone's just doing a lot of thinking, looking off in the distance. And if you look carefully, wherever their eyesight is, that's where their script was, because it's just been handed to them. So I did see it, and it is funny because you can tell. I mean, now knowing, you're like, oh yeah, okay, they did not know their lines because they were just given their lines. The mimeograph was going crazy. Go ahead.
Something we skipped over.
There's a lot we skipped over.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, obviously, another appearance from Ed Begley Jr. as Green Bean, but
we learned his call sign in this one.
That was his name. They didn't have call signs.
Yeah.
He was actually named Green Bean because everyone only had one name, and they ran out of names, so they would just give him ridiculous names like Green Bean and Boxy. No,
I
but
think he was Jolly's wingman.
yeah, they were like, yeah, because Jolly was saying we got to save the aggro ships in Green Bean. You would think of that, Jolly. So the fat jokes of the
For the meal
70s,
supply.
Oh, that's
So-
right. I didn't think about that. That's right.
But I was thinking of the farmer, the guy who says we need new seed. Everybody know who that was?
I don't
can't
know, but
Wasn't that
remember.
Rance
That
Howard?
was
no, I don't remember.
that was Olin Soule.
Oh, that's right. Rance Howard was comfortable.
Yeah, Olin Soule was very prolific character actor in the 60s and 70s, and he was the filmation voice of Batman and also in the Super Friends. So he's playing this old farmer named Carmichael. And we see him again in War of the Gods.
Interesting.
Yeah, just a little character note.
Now, that was a farmer on the planet, right? Which the planet was named Sector.
No, the guy on the aggro ship.
On
guy
the
who
aggro
says-
ship. Okay, yeah, it was either. Okay, yeah, all right.
Yep.
Huh.
That was Batman himself.
Wow.
I may
All
have to
right.
watch the beginning of this one more time. So
You
one
know-
of the things I picked up on, I think we mentioned this when we were discussing the movie, but the aggro ship that they show the close-up of is the model of the Valley Forge from Silent Running.
Yes.
Yeah, they had all that good old footage from the Universal movie.
Yeah. You know, when Michael and I were talking about doing Battlestar Galactica, he had commented that the special effects doesn't, hold up very well, or some of the imagery. And I agree with Michael, but there's still a lot of stuff that does hold up, believe it or not, even to this day. I was annoyed in this episode that you could see the work that they had done, especially when they're talking about the ship. You could really see it does not hold up very well. I don't know if they put it in later. They did some compositing. I don't know, but yeah, this one it did look bad. Now I don't know if it was an issue of money, time, whatever at the time, but because Trey did mention that, I'm sorry, Squire mentioned that, and I was thinking that scene, it just did not look good. But hey, it worked the first time, and that's all that matters, folks. When Willie goes flying over the young man in Free Willy, the first time it looks good. If you look at it again, you can see all the the pixels and stuff. It worked the first time, right? That's what it's supposed to do. So we know the ship is in bad shape, so they got to head on down, and Adama realizes that he's going to be stuck on the ship, so he wants to go head down. And this time he used a phrase, "I've been stuck up here for 16 quadrants." I was like, well, wait a minute.
Quatrons.
Oh, quatrons. Oh, okay. All right.
That
See,
makes
I got
all
it
the
wrong then.
difference.
It's yet another measurement of time we have not heard before.
Yes, that was, yeah, but obviously I got it wrong because I didn't hear it. It must be my accent because I'm going deaf. But it is what it is. He spent 16 what Trey?
Quatrons, I believe.
Quatrons, yeah, okay. I heard quadrants, but all right, I got it wrong. Cooped up in here. And then Apollo says, wait a minute, 5? What do you mean 5? That's Starbuck Boomer and myself and you, and yeah, she's going along.
Cyrus Tommy.
Knowing that a moment ago he had just let his kid say, you know what? Yeah, let's go. And bring your Daggett along with you, which was interesting. Now, this is where he also admits, well, I made a promise to court her. So,
Yeah.
I guess it's
Did
going to be a
it-
romantic adventure.
Everybody notice Apollo's little mistake in that scene? I can't blame Apollo because Glenn Larson wrote it into the script. He says, "Wait a minute."
Oh, yes.
That is the only time
yes,
anyone
you're
in
right.
Galactica says minute, except those Terra people who we're not going to talk about.
Oh my God. I missed that.
I think we all did.
I missed it.
I didn't pick up on that. Wow.
But yeah, it's, I guess. Wow.
Nice
Okay.
catch.
Well, yeah, hell, well done. Now, I don't know if this was I think it was the first time and it was the last time we actually get the view of the planet Sector, and Adam is doing a voiceover, and we read planet Sector in quadrant Zeta. Like, okay.
Mhm.
And then we get time 00147. I'm like, look, 47. It predated everything else. The number 47 was in there. 002. And I forget what the reference is where it said Earth time or standard time, but I think this was the only time that they actually listed a star date. This is effectively a star date.
Yeah.
I don't recall them ever doing that again anywhere else.
Mm-mm.
No,
Did it say star time? Could that be what it
start
said?
time. Yes.
Oh, it did say start
Start
time.
time.
Yeah. Yes. As I mentioned, Boxy and Muffy tag along, and then Bellaby is on the planet. She's, oh, this is just so romantic. She's having a great time. And then Adama says, no,
did you see
Apollo,
the
you have
look?
to stay. What was that?
Did you see the look going between one Apollo's look, laughing, and Jolly's look of I don't want to be here. I'm confused. This isn't a good thing.
Yeah. Isn't he kind of straightening his mustache or something?
I'm uncomfortable with this.
Yeah, all the guys were kind of
I mean, it
being
is.
silly about it.
It is. It's funny because, oh, and you know what, folks? I apologize. I should have put this on first. Okay. I did. Oh, man, I messed it up. I put it as a background. I should have put it. Oh, there it is. We're doing the Magnificent Warriors. I'm so proud that I found that image. Okay, sorry. Let's get back to regular programming.
Yeah.
I have it set up as also the background, but it was really funny. I noticed that they were having a good time because Commander Adama has an image, or not necessarily an image. It's what he does, and he has to, he's acting like a teenager or something like that to get his way with this young lady, and he's an old man.
20 years older than Miss Cyrus Bellaby.
Really? Because it doesn't come across. I mean, this is not the
No, it
living
doesn't.
legend.
No,
Where that
was-
looks like 70 years apart.
Lauren Green was in his early 60s, and the woman that played Bellaby was in her
In her
early
40s,
40s.
wasn't she?
Brett
Yeah.
Summers.
Brett Summers, yes, thank you.
Brett blank.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Little match game reference there.
Oh,
Just a
it's
little.
perfect. It was beautiful. Yeah, now I got that one. I didn't realize they were that far apart. It seemed like they were closer in age, but magic of a Hollywood.
It
Right?
did. I mean, she did seem more like 50s.
Yeah.
But she
seemed
has,
yeah.
the older sounding voice, and
They were believable as being about the same age, even though they weren't.
yeah.
That's what it is. It was believable. Yes, it looked right. Unlike Cassiopeia and Commander Kane, which we'll get into. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm jumping way ahead, but Lloyd Bridges' real wife commented and said, I thought you were just a tad young for that role. Otherwise, you did very well, but that's for that episode. So they're on the planet. Adama orders Apollo to stick around, and Boomer and Starbuck go to take care of it, and they make the deal. And we learn a little bit about what it is. In the city of Serenity, the community, the high moon is coming up, and everyone starts to close down, and we hear the comments of a hedge hopper, and we hear of the Boreas. And
As far as I'm concerned, they're weir pig.
what's that?
As far as I'm
Weir-pig?
concerned, they're weir pig.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I
The Boros, they're pigs on a
Man, bear,
horseback, but they
pig.
come out in the full moon.
I
Yeah.
made the note to man, bear pig. Yeah. I made the note orcs.
Oh,
The original D&D orcs were supposed to be like pig-like people.
that's funny because I would have gone with Ugnaughts.
Ah,
That
They were
too.
well, Ugnaughts are along the same line.
Yeah, but they're tiny, you know, and then they just throw around C-3PO's head. So that's not, but that's another universe. That's okay. Sorry, that was lame. So we find out Farns,
has
the
spoken.
constable, has a position for life, and he's just like, all right, let's get this over with. He was caught unawares. He didn't think it was going to happen this fast, but he goes out to do his duty, and his duty is to use a single shot shotgun to take on the boar race. To what does that do? I don't get it. What
Nothing.
is,
Nothing. He
so
just
why even go out?
I think it's supposed to be sacrificial,
that's what I
but I've always thought.
So the Bores command a sacrifice, so they
I think it's
rummage
meant
and
to.
pillage less.
Slow them down, scare off some of them.
I think the idea is when Nogao gets close, he fires off a shot, scares Nogao, he turns, and all the rest follow him. But they kill the constable as they do it.
Okay, all right, that's fair. I didn't think about that.
And they kept all the grain unlocked anyway.
Yeah, as we see a little bit later, and we hear he's one of the best we've ever had. I don't know what that means. I think they're just being sarcastic amongst
he
themselves.
lasted the longest. I don't know.
Yeah, it was funny. And then they're talking amongst themselves. Well, no one's going to do it now. And it was kind of, that conversation was actually kind of amusing. He says, how are we going to get someone to do it now? No, we're not. Any volunteers? I don't think you're going to get any volunteers. And
You
at
know, he
that
probably
moment,
said that same thing about every constable. One of the best we ever had.
oh,
I bet he says it about everyone.
now I did love how you set up that conversation that they're screwed, they don't have anyone, and it's Starbuck and Boomer head of town. Of course, Apollo remains there, and there's a line by Adama where she's getting, I guess, a little friendly, maybe a little frisky. And I thought this was one of Adama's better lines, other than the one earlier. Oh, this isn't going to work. You know, he wusses out and tries to get out of it. His other line was, Bellaby, please. Not in front of the children.
Children. I thought that was good.
Yeah, that was. And then we see the guys walking in. He says, how are we going to, what are we going to do to resolve this situation, in serenity? And he says, I think we're out of luck. Boom! Starbuck and Apollo walk in. Hey, I think we're in luck. I
Great
gotta
cut.
admit, that was perfect timing. Squire, go ahead.
I was just saying, yes, great cut. It was Boomer, though.
It was done well, man. I did like that. And it was good. I did appreciate that exchange. Starbuck and Boomer were a bit surprised that there was no deal to be had. They didn't know how good Serenity was going to sucker them into this. It was really, there was no deal to be had, no nothing. He had money, but obviously the prices were ridiculous, and they were just out of luck. I think he had 5,000 Kalons, but it just wasn't
He
enough.
needed 12,000, I think.
Yeah. Well, they got robbed, and
that too.
yep, they got robbed. Starbuck pretty much knew what it was. Went back to town.
I think
He
this
goes
is the
right
first
up to the
time
guys.
we heard galmonging in the series.
Yeah. It is. He was saying lousy, gallmonging thieves. And and I think during this struggle is the only time in the original series that someone says frackin', like as a verb.
Didn't he say get this fracking net off me or something?
Actually, I think he did. You're right. And I'm so desensitized to the word now that I just I heard it. You're right. I didn't realize that was the first time it was used as a verb. Wow. Because it was always frack. Now, I'm not sure if it's in this actually it's in the next episode. I mean, we even heard Lucifer swear, but that's in the next episode, which is really funny. That was funny as well. As the series moved forward, folks, there was genuine humor. It was
Yeah.
getting a feel. And in
Mhm.
this one, there was some funny stuff. Starbuck going in there, he's all right. And then, of course, he says, "Okay, well, I'm gonna get the money that I need." And he's a great card player. Reminded me of when Data went back in time, and he was in the 1800s or whatever, and then they said,
Mm-hmm. You got the money
"Poker,"
for it, yeah.
and he lights up. And turns out Data's a great poker player, which is Starbuck does very well. And he gets suckered in. I don't know about you guys, but I thought that was very well done. That was by the mayor or the first citizen of Serenity.
Yeah. Sire Bogan.
Another character actor from all over television.
Yeah.
There
Wasn't
were a
he the
lot of them
first-
back then. I mean,
Was
that they came, that because they used to have all the people that were signed with studios back before this, and a lot of it seemed it just kept going for a while. That they used the same people over and over again in the studios, which was great for some of those actors because man, those character actors back then were really good.
So guys, and sorry, Squire, you were going to say something. What?
Oh, that guy that played Sire Bogan, Barry something.
Yeah.
Nelson.
Nelson. I believe he was the first actor to play James Bond on screen. It was in an American TV show of some kind.
Really?
Somebody can fact check me on that, but
Doing
I
it
think-
right now.
I think before any of the movies,
Oh,
Yeah,
did some
something
TV
about that
show.
sounds
carry on,
familiar.
Admiral Big Dog. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
2 episodes of a show called Climax.
Did you like that, Liz?
4 Hours in White.
Yes, sure.
An anthology series that presented a different story and a different set of characters on each episode. It ran from 54 to 58 and featured Casino Royale of James Bond fame,
Wow.
which led to 2 theatrical movies of the same name.
Wow.
And sure enough, Bond was played by Mr. Nelson.
That is cool. Never made the connection. Never would have known. Wow, I like that
Well,
one.
that was,
I
that
never
was a
read that one
decade
before.
before my time.
Mhm.
Right, but being fans, folks, you see, the thing is, and Trey, look, I know me some Battlestar Galactica, but I readily acknowledge you know more, and it doesn't bug me. I'm impressed. I know how much you know. Well, I know how much I don't know compared to you, because I'm not going to say I know how much you know. That's stupid. No, but like for James Bond, I know quite a bit of James Bond too, and I didn't know that. That was cool.
I only know it because of Battlestar Galactica.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't think that
I
show
do
was ever in
understand.
syndication, or
Yeah, it
Well,
may
probably
may be
not,
on
no.
YouTube somewhere. Could easily be on YouTube.
Huh.
trying to see if one of these pictures are. It was Bond.
Sorry, Admiral. Didn't mean to keep you awake so late. I know you're tired, Craig. I'm sorry. I'm just messing around.
Oh, The Shining. He was in The Shining.
Really?
Mm.
Huh. All right. Well, as that went on, Starbuck is winning. He talks about the line. What was it, Squire? How did you quote the country bumpkins that were there?
Oh, I ain't never even seen a 3-level pyramid.
Oh God.
That guy named Dougie, can't remember that actor's name, but he was
Yeah.
the bumpkin, and then Bogan's associate was Dipper, played by Eric Server, who went on to be the voice of Dr. Theopolis in the Buck Rogers series.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Ah, that's why he sounded familiar.
Oh, I was trying to say, nah. It just couldn't happen. Sorry. Wow, I did recognize that, but I never would have made that connection. That's crazy. That's wow. I like that.
And Buck wore his costume in some episode too. Dipper's costume.
Oh,
Did he really?
They
I'll
recycled
have to go
everything.
back and remember that.
yeah.
Oh God, yeah, back then.
You know, Michael brought up the point of them being under contract. I remember in Nichelle Nichols' book, where she was talking about being signed to a contract, a 3-year deal or whatever, and this was after Star Trek. And when did that whole thing end that you guys know of? Because I don't think y'all went into the 80s, right? Where you had,
No, I
I
don't
guess
think
in the
so.
70s it ended, right?
I think so. I think so.
Mm.
I mean, it might have been a little bit before that. I am honestly not sure.
Well, famously, as I said, Nichelle Nichols did talk about having the opportunity. And folks, tiny bit of trivia. I read her book and her claim that she made. And if you haven't read the book, I'm not going to spoil it. The young lady has passed away, so I'm not going to start an argument. But when we had a chance to interview, I was going to ask her one question where she claimed about the casting couch that she turned down a 3-year contract with a certain studio. And she said, you know what? I kept my dignity. And the executive producer of Star Trek was a very high up studio head at that studio. And in his book, he said, Nichelle, I was above that. Why didn't you tell me? Because I would never have tolerated that. They never answered. It never went further. But I was going to ask her that question. I forget who the executive producer is. He's the one that has the alien face at the very end of the Star Trek title
Gene
credits.
Coon?
I'm sorry, who?
Gene Coon?
No. He was the VP. He was like the studio guy. I forget who it is.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
recently passed away too. If there was someone I would have loved, he wrote a book with the producer that did season 1 of The Next Generation. But we're off topic. And again, she's passed away, so there's no reason to come up with that. But the 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 guy who was in charge of Star Trek and other programs for Desilu did challenge Nichelle
Herb
Nichols.
Solo.
Yes, Herb Solo. Yes. Yeah. Solo put in his book, he says, Nichelle, you knew I was at that studio. I would never have tolerated that. So he kind of checked her on that. But again, they never actually got in a chance to resolve that. But I never got the chance to ask it because for 48 minutes, she just did what I'm doing right now. That's just drone on and on and on. So, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, one of the worst episodes we ever had ever. But anyway, we'll go ahead and move on. We learned that the guy has a name, the Bore. His name is Nagao, or is it Nogao?
No gal.
Nogao.
No
Yes.
go.
And they described that they used to be hunters or whatever, but they took on the characteristics of Nogao. Now, did all of you get the impression that this was just a tribe that was there, or that it was the entire planet of these Bores? Did you guys even give that some
I
thought?
just
Or
kind of figured it was a tribe, just
Yeah, me
in
too.
that particular section.
Yeah. Well, they didn't seem like they would have space travel. They didn't seem that sophisticated. So I would guess they were. My guess was they were indigenous.
yeah, okay.
That's one of the few times we see aliens. I actually didn't remember these guys.
It's weird because in the pilot episode, when they're in the Gemini freighter with the people who are living in squalor and poverty, the one guy says he was cast out and put here among the Bores of humanity.
Yeah.
And I don't think that
that's
was ever
right.
explained. Was the Bores
Okay,
just like
but
their gang name or something, and it means something like bad dudes or something?
Yeah, I do
does
remember
bore
that.
mean pig? Here's the thing:
Oh
does bore
yeah,
mean pig?
yeah.
Because they are pig-like. If you're
Or-
cast down amongst the bores of society, the pigs of society,
I can see that.
or the
Or
swine of society.
I, as a kid, I took that as meaning they got sent down, down, down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually never did look that up. Now, you guys said that there was a word that was used earlier for the first time. What was it? Mongering or gull?
Gullmonging.
What is that?
Gullmongering.
I never
Something
looked it
Glenn
up.
Larson made up.
Oh, okay.
Like a lot of other things he made up.
Made up lots of colonial obscenities, like when after the guys rob him, Boomer yells, "You dirty rotten Crassinese!"
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Well, Starbuck, as I mentioned, he's back there and he's winning. And then what is his name again? Is it Bogan?
Bogan.
Says,
Logan.
well, maybe you want to take up the stakes and try your luck with me. And he does. And Starbuck, obviously, he let him win. He obviously let him win. And then at the very end, he
Well,
whips out a wonderful looking badge. Go ahead, Baltar.
well, what I was going to say is that was the whole thing. It's like, goodness, I don't know what that was. But no, what the whole thing. It was not you. It was something from someone, but it wasn't
Oh,
you.
okay. Go on.
It was his way of getting that sheriff's badge or constable's badge for him to accept it. It didn't mean how he accepted it, so long as he did accept it, he accepted all the things that came with it.
Yeah, I guess culturally, it's just you accepting it. Doesn't matter, no way, no how. It's just if you accept it, whether you agree to it or not, it's yours. That's the
You're
position.
screwed.
Yeah. And it was okay for everyone. They're like, okay, you won. Congratulations, you're the new constable. And that's it. And right away, it's another high moon. Did you notice that they called it a high moon at first, and then a little bit later on they said full moon? You guys notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny. Hi, Ross. Is that how the boy race out? I didn't hear.
Oh
Oh,
God. Well, yeah,
okay.
you missed it.
Yeah, that's funny. No, I didn't hear. Folks, I was drinking my coffee. I hope I didn't do something stupid, but that's okay. So we had that happen. And then, of course, I think it's right here, right? Where Apollo, Adama, and Boomer did some, or is it just those three? They go to town. Or when did they show up, Trey? I didn't write that down in my notes.
Cyrus, Bellaby, Apollo, and
Oh, that's right. She went to town too.
Adama all walked in. Yeah, because
Oh yeah,
she
like
found
yeah.
the missing
Right after Starbuck becomes constable, they all. Yeah, because Boomer
walk in the
ran
door.
back to the camp and told him that everything had been stolen.
Okay, that's right. That's how it was. So I missed that connection. Okay, so they arrive just in time, and Starbucks holding the badge, and again,
Who's in charge of law and order here?
yeah,
Oh yeah. Then they all divide up, and then there's Starbuck.
yeah, that was kind of funny. And they hit Starbuck. It's like, dude, where did you show up? What did you expect to get? And look at what you have. That was funny. That was good. I did like that. And then we had a stand by the Magnificent. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Magnificent Seven, Magnificent
Thank
3,
you.
4.
Yes,
I mean, the
that's
whole
what it
thing
was
is
supposed to be.
yeah.
But what I liked before, even before then, was that Cyrus Bellamy and Adama were having this kind of argument in the street, and she's like, "You idiot! I know where the stolen sled is."
Mm.
I'm like, "What? Where? You're practically standing on it."
Mm.
She's like, "I tracked the
I'll
track
tell you if
marks.
you kiss
It's
me.
in that." Yeah. Then he kissed her, and she told him, and he turned around and kissed her back
Yeah,
again.
the second one was a lot more real for him.
Yeah.
That
Oh
was
yeah.
cool. That was neat. Again, completely out of character, but it was good. She suckered him for the first kiss, pardon the pun, and then he's right over there. But what did she say? Dude, I followed the tracks. Come
Yeah.
on. Glorious warriors they are.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised
Takes a
Adama
woman to
didn't
do a
notice
man's job.
the tread
Yeah.
tracks.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. But she's quick, man. She's malicious. So they find out, and sure enough, there's a stand. The Borays are coming in, and they, I guess they get him to stand down. But they steal Bellaby. Ah, and they take her away. And then they go in search of the Borays. And lo and behold, it didn't take very long. They found him real quick. Or they were found by the Borays. Which was it, guys?
Muffet
Did they
found
find?
him.
Muffet.
They
Yeah.
Muffet
found him.
tracked him, and for some reason, Boxy was nowhere to be seen.
You noticed that
Yeah,
too?
I kept looking for Boxy. It's
I
like,
mean,
okay,
he just like
where's
disappeared.
Foxy?
Wonder if they made him stay in the shuttle.
But who stayed with him?
By himself?
Wasn't Jolly there?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, maybe Jolly
Yeah,
stayed.
because
there.
remember,
Ooh, yeah, he
first
was.
Apollo
He
says,
was.
wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm counting 5. Who are the 5? And then Jolly shows up on the shuttle. I'm like, Apollo, dude, are you in command of this mission or what?
No, everybody just pops on the shuttle just to go have fun. You know.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised that Adama didn't say anything about having Boxy and Muffy aboard. I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, I was a bit surprised by that, but it's okay. You know,
Well,
father and son
they
time.
weren't expecting any trouble, were they?
No, I guess they weren't, but they all
No.
had their blasters on their sides, so go figure.
Was the speed run?
They were not expecting trouble. That is true.
Yeah, they didn't get their blasters till after the sled was robbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because remember what Apollo
Kraken
says.
robbed.
Well, if
Yeah,
Cyrus
fracking robbed.
Bellamy can go, if Cyrus Bellamy can go,
Mhm.
and you know, Foxy and Muffet can definitely go.
Well, wait a minute. I don't think it was can go. I think she was going.
True,
Yeah.
that's not exactly what Apollo said.
Right. Now they find him, and Apollo's like, get in there. You are the greatest diplomat of our age. Go in there, get it done. And what happens, Trey? Like 3 seconds later?
He comes storming out. That is the most egotistical, self-serving.
Interested in his own pleasure.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny. I like that. It was along with this theme of being lighthearted. And Adama was pissed. It was funny. This is one of the few times that we actually see Adama pissed. Go ahead, Walter.
I was going to say, did you notice how Starbucks' face lit up with that particular terminology? So I was saying, I have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
He loves it when a plan comes together.
Oh, yes.
Comes together?
Yes, indeed. Yep. Hey, 18, baby. Oh, hell yeah. And right after that, Starbuck has an idea, and he goes in and makes a deal. And a smart deal it was. And he goes in there. I guess they come out, they've made friends, and then we cut back to Serenity, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're there explaining what's going on. And he's like, oh, by the way, regarding this, and boom, the door opens. Just, hey, all you got to do is you got to make sure he has enough drink and enough food whenever he wants it and however he wants it. That's it. Everything will be cool. And he walks in. He's got the badge. It was actually kind of funny, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
He
said, hey,
looked good.
buy him a
He
drink.
looked good in the badge. He looked good in the badge.
He did look good in the badge. Buy him a drink. This man needs a drink. And then it was at that moment when Apollo utters a line. I knew one day your poor character would come in handy.
That's it.
I'm sorry, Trey.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to trick you. I mean, that was a great line because it was in the background when Apollo says that.
But no, the better one was when he told Adama that he was so glad that she was not going to be having to call her mother.
Yeah. Oh my God! Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was a better line.
See, and he was screwing with Adama, which was really funny. Yeah. All in all, folks, I got to tell you, again, thank goodness I haven't seen this in a long time. It's almost like looking at it brand new. And how many storylines or how many stories gave Mr. Larson the impetus for this Colonel? I mean, many, right? This isn't exactly brand new. There wasn't anything to it. It was funny. There were a lot of good lines in it.
It's another space western.
Another space western, yes.
And you know Joss Whedon was just lapping this up as a kid.
Oh,
Serenity?
Yes. Ross says it would have been a boring episode if there hadn't been trouble.
True.
Nice take on the Magnificent Seven. I guess that's probably the word I'm looking for. It was a take because it's obvious there wasn't anything brand new to it. But I do admit that, again, being older, I'm catching all the subtleties. I'm getting the lines. And there's humor here. Yeah, it's adult humor, but I mean, this is humor that the kids can handle.
I love
And
when Bellaby told off Adama at the end about, the diplomatic thing and,
Yeah. Yeah.
I need somebody younger.
oh
Mhm.
yeah, yep, that was good. And is that when she looked at Starbuck,
Oh yeah, no, she
or just younger?
I think
went
she
after
went off with
Starbucks.
both Starbuck and Boomer, didn't she? Come on, boys, I'm buying.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Oh, that's
yes,
right,
good
yeah.
one. That's right. Yeah.
I actually thought, believe it or not, that she was gonna go off with no out.
No cow.
I really
Yeah.
did
Waxana
because
Troy
she
would
was
have.
She needs an animal.
Yes, I need a
yeah,
real
that
animal.
was
That was
what
the
made me
quote.
think that.
Well,
Yeah.
didn't she say that?
Yes.
Yeah,
You know
Yeah.
what? Maybe that was a setup for the audience to think that she was going to go for
Yeah.
a no-go. Um, I don't know what your thoughts are, folks. Again, there really wasn't too much to this one. I enjoyed the humor and seeing Adama suffer a little bit. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Cyrus
That was
Bellaby
fun.
was a memorable character. There's aspects
Yes.
of this one I remembered, but I didn't remember the entire episode. Overall it wasn't remarkable, but
Yeah.
it did. It had some really good moments.
Yeah. Squire.
It's a good filler episode and it's fun. It doesn't ask too much and it delivers some good humor.
Squire, thank you. It's fun. Yes.
Mm.
I like that. Baltar?
um, I actually had a blast watching it. It was so fun, and then that compared with the humor coming up with the next one, it was just kind of a laugh fest. It was really good humor. It was fun.
It's interesting because again, I was privileged, folks. I had the chance of interviewing Terry Carter and of course Richard Hatch, and he'd been on our network 4 times. And I'm not going to say I would never ever pretend to say that I knew Richard Hatch. I had the privilege of speaking with him once in person and 4 times on air, and he was a wonderful individual. With Richard Hatch, you see is what you get. It was real. He was a good person. He loved fandom in ways that very few people could and would. He did. And he was amazing. I mean, he gave to us, geez, if I just add up the time, I mean, 8 hours on air. Easy. Easy. Over 4 episodes. He was just incredible. So seeing him laugh, seeing him see his dad, it was funny. It's like I could almost be there. It was a neat connection. But let me see. He says, "Fun to see Commander Unflappable squirm a bit." Yes, kind of like
Mhm.
Captain Picard with the kids. That yeah, I did.
Mhm.
And Admiral Michael, what are your thoughts on the episode?
What I thought, finally, the Cylons seem to be more intelligent than they normally come off, in my opinion, because they finally went for the aggro ships. It makes total sense because that's where the colonies got food. And a lot of others time they just come and they boom, 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 bam, zoom, 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 and they don't take out anything. I mean, there's only a few episodes that they really take something out
Yeah.
or try.
Folks, there's a lot to be said for that because in the first episode, you had an incredible plan. Draw the fleet away, ambush them out there while you're simultaneously attacking the colonies. It was well done, and you had the 1,000 raiders or whatever it was, and then you had they had the death squadrons, right? The
Mhm.
Atlantia Kilo
Mm-hmm,
Squadron or
mm-hmm.
whatever. Yes, right, Michael, you're right. But I was gonna jump right now, Michael, when you said, the Cylons finally had a plan. Oh, no, no, that's the next episode, Michael. But I'm like, you're right. Yeah, the Cylons went for about 2 minutes.
No, the next one they're even more ridiculous than.
Well, yeah, yeah.
It must have been
It
Baltar that
was
had the idea of hitting the aggro ships because the Cylons would not have thought about, oh, humans need to eat food.
Well, then again, they did change their Imperious leader because
Mhm.
the old Imperious leader was the one that I guess did all the planning for the attacks originally. So
Now, you guys remember that the whole thing of the new Imperious leader was I am much more advanced than the other model, and I want you, Boltar, to lead us in a fig of peace. What happened?
Well, I think that was kind of
Boltar.
retconned in the next episode, right? To where
Yeah.
we're supposed to understand the Imperious leader said that with a wink and a nod. Like Baltar tried to convince them that we're seeking peace.
Okay. All right. I didn't comment on that earlier, Trey, because I I was probably going to come around to that a little bit later, but you made a good point, and now you made another good point. Thank you. You enlightened me on that. Yeah.
Well,
Um,
I've had years to think about it. Yarns.
Yarns, yeah. Mhm.
Good man. Look, as Trey said, it's not asking for much, and it's just funny, some of the stuff. It's not a heavy episode. I think it was their first real attempt at trying to be humorous and lighten up stuff. I think it delivered, but it's the one that we least remember. I had actually forgotten Cyrus Bellaby, but the minute that he mentioned Cyrus Bellaby, I'm like, wait, who's that? Who's that? You know, I was like, wait, that name's familiar. And then when I saw her in her bedroom or her quarters, I'm like, oh my God, I remember her. So it was funny. So that's cool. All right. You guys have any other comments on that episode?
I understand there was a match game episode. I have not seen it, but I've heard about it, where Gene Rayburn asks Brett Summers, well, how have you been? And she said, oh, I've been great. I've spent all day kissing Dirk Benedict. I kissed him 4 times. So, little extra textual reference to this episode.
That's funny. I like that. I used to watch the match game quite a bit. I don't recall it, or again, I might have been too young to. Oh, guys, if we could do a match game on air, that would be so awesome. It might be a
That'd be
bit
so
dated,
fun.
huh, the concept.
They usually showed them like early afternoon, like when we were in school.
Oh, I remember seeing a lot of them. Maybe I saw the
Before you-
repeats, or maybe it was just on the West Coast. They were later in the day. I don't
That, or
know.
if you stayed home sick on the couch.
Yeah, if I
and
stayed
Okay, I
home
have no
sick,
comment.
yeah.
Hey, we're gonna
Ice
do
is right in
password,
match game.
guys. We are gonna play password on the network after like around May. So, folks, don't forget to join us. All kidding aside, we are going to be doing password, or our version of password, because we can't do password for obvious reasons. So, all right. Well, I like that one. Let's see. I wonder if Starbuck ever took Brett Summers to the launch tubes. Ooh,
Oh,
Cyrus
there's a thought.
Bellamy. Yeah, that is a thought. I don't know if I want to go any further with that one, but hey, it's good. I'm gonna switch my background card. Oh, you know what was really cool? Does it show up on? No, I didn't upload it as an overlay. But all right, folks, we're gonna switch on over to episode 11, The Young Lords. And I don't know when this one debuted. It was actually in 70. Was this one was already in 79, right? No, it was late 98. The Young Lords debuted on November 19th, 1978. And this one was written by Donald Belisario, Frank Lupo, and Paul Playdon. And I don't know if you got this, but under the director's credit, it was listed as Don Belisario. Now, on Wikipedia and stuff, it's listed as Donald Belisario, but on the actual credits, I don't know if you guys caught that.
It's
Hmm.
Dawn,
Did
yeah.
they run out of money? Do you think?
for letters?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, sometimes people went under different variations of their names when they were a producer or a director or an actor sometimes.
That's fair, and I'm going to have to pay more attention because on Wikipedia for Battlestar Galactica, it lists him as Donald Belisario and written by Donald Belisario. But it's just interesting how on the credits it had him as Don, just for the directed by. But it could very well be as director he wants to be called Don. In the writing room, I'm Donald. I don't know.
Split personality.
Yeah.
I thought that was me.
Okay. And of course, special guest, the only one I wrote down, someone by the name of Audrey Landers. Does anyone know the role that Audrey Landers played in The Young Lords?
Well, we discussed this
Yuri.
earlier, so we don't.
We discussed this when we were not live.
I know.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering if anyone in the
She played
audience
Mary.
wonders. Poor Rusty Silence.
Tin cans.
Yes. If you don't know, Audrey Landers played Miri, and as a matter of fact, as Michael did tell us, and we all had a conversation about it before we went live, this young lady was this her first role or one of her first
I
roles?
don't think so. Let me double check because I can't. I remember I was looking and it was like she has done a lot of stuff.
I did
Oh, I
recognize
know.
her.
She
in
had been
Dallas.
on Happy
Plenty in
Days.
this
I know
episode.
I'd seen her
Oh,
on
she
Happy
was
Days
on Happy
before this.
Days?
Yes,
She
the
was
one
on
where
Happy Days, she was on the
it's the
Love
one where
Boat.
Reb Brown was this guy that
And she was on Dallas too, so we talked about
Yeah.
Reb Brown
that
played
was
this
later.
guy that was dating Audrey Landers' character, and Ralph Malph was in love with her too, and they ended up having to box over her in the boxing ring.
Oh my goodness, that was her?
Yeah. The episode was called Requiem for a Mouth. 5th season.
Oh,
That's great. A cuter Miri than the one Kirk met. Oh,
I can agree with that.
Don't
If
know
you like
about that one.
blondes,
Oh, you're gonna. I mean, this can't be right.
Michael.
Her first role seems to be listed in soap operas. Search for Tomorrow and The Secret Storm. In
Okay.
1972, 1973.
She was in
Well, she was
Somerset.
22 and 78.
Yeah, for
Makes sense.
14 episodes in Somerset, 74 to 76. Wow. She did a few things at Battlestar Galactica, one episode. Oh my God, I forgot she was in the movie 1941. She does play a USO girl.
Yeah.
And she was in Chips for one episode. Highcliffe Manor. Oh my God, remember that one that ran for maybe a year? She was in 5
Marcus Welby, the FBI,
Chorus
Fantasy
Line.
Island,
Emergency.
very recognizable.
Love Boat, 4
Well,
episodes.
both her and her sister are very recognizable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Chorus Line. That was a memorable role for her.
Oh yeah.
That's
Charlie's
right.
Angels.
Was she a regular on Charlie's Angels?
No, it was
Mm-mm.
one episode.
No.
Okay, right, one episode. But yeah. Wow. Yeah, I hadn't discovered girls yet at the time because I'm old and sexist, but I remember she was cute. I do remember that. So, I did remember her from this episode, and that's all that I remembered of the Young Lords.
Oh, wow.
So,
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember
You
it
didn't
more than
remember
that.
Spectre?
no, I'd
I
forgotten
love
You
Spectre.
did not
Oh,
remember.
I didn't
Spectre's
remember
awesome.
Spectre, but I remembered the little rhyme thing they did.
I did
Spectre
not.
reminds-
Oh my God. When Starbucks says, and the best way to remember a plan is to sing it. Like,
Yep.
what?
That wasn't
Yep.
singing. That was.
Or whatever, to whatever. I thought, I had that errant thought that when he said that, I was like, a vessel and a pestle is a.
God.
Right? We've all seen that, right? Come on.
The Court Jester with Danny
Oh
Kaye.
my God. When he said sing it, I was like, are we going to have vessel and a pestle? And almost.
That's a household
Hey.
favorite here.
I'm
That is
just glad it
really-
wasn't Potsy Weber singing "Pump Your Blood."
It reminded me, I'm sorry, it was the same
Don't be
exact
sorry.
way
You're here
as
already.
it-
Stop it. Don't
as-
be sorry.
yes. The Dirty Dozen. When they start going over the plans, it's the same repetition.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, all right. Yeah. Took me a moment to remember that. Yeah. Okay. Now, all kidding aside, and this is way off. Audrey Landers plays a USO girl in 1941. Is she one of the ones that's actually fighting at the very end in that that place where they're all performing the dance scene? Because I know she's there. Was she one of the ones that fighting supposedly?
God, it's been forever since I've seen.
Yeah,
that
I know.
movie.
That's sorry, but I do remember her from there. But all right. Well, we just got past the Magnificent
I've actually
Warriors.
rewatched Court Jester more recently than 1941.
Really, I want to see Court Jester. I've not seen that one in decades.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yes, Ross. Yes. The rhyme was kind of painful, but it was okay. Yeah, it was. The overacting father and oldest brother were the hardest for me to deal with. Oh, really? Ooh, that's interesting. Appreciate, folks. We got a like. Thank you, Ross. Appreciate that for the episode. Okay. Uh, I talk too much. Squire, could you give us an idea of the episode, and if you would like, maybe lead us on in the conversation? I know I'm ambushing you, young man, and I apologize.
Well, let's see. We start out with Starbuck and Boomer on patrol.
Yeah.
And Starbuck tells Boomer he's come to a big decision. Now, we don't ever get to hear what that decision is, but a little script note. The script did have him tell what the decision was. He was going to give up gambling and socializing. And
Starbuck?
yes, Starbuck. And Boomer was naturally quite skeptical of this. And but on the broadcast version, we did not get to hear that because the Cylons attacked. So Starbuck gets.
Here's the thing: before he gets shot, if I could mention one thing,
Yeah.
you remember what Starbuck instructor told him, which I really like.
Oh, right, the
Pilot
three
only
things.
flies 3 Vipers. 1 he trains in, 2 he escapes from, and 3 he dies in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes you think.
His flight instructor is also the one who said you should sing your plan.
Correct.
So he had a good idea and a not so good idea.
I actually went from that was awesome to like, oh yeah. I can't make that up. That was good. Okay, please continue, Squire.
So where are we? Yeah.
You were crashing.
Yes.
Or Starbuck crashing.
Starbuck was crashing, yeah.
Actually,
so like Luke Skywalker after him, he crashes in a swamp.
Guys, seeing the plane actually crashed on, I guess, by the lakeside or the riverside, that actually looked good. Because when Apollo crashed, he didn't crash.
Oh, he landed.
There were branches and things around the ship. But when Starbuck's trying to get out of the Viper, folks, that looked good. The way they dressed the set, that looked realistic to me. And I guess in my mind, I could have seen the plane crash into the soft mud right next. It looked like it would work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because they had a little bit more money as opposed to the other episode.
Well, I guess was this all on location? I suppose not actually a set, was it? Because they had the trees and the
It was
water
on
and
location. Oh yeah, yeah. Because
definitely on location.
Most of the outdoors did look like outdoors.
Yes.
So I think the inside the camp, I think, was probably soundstage. But anytime they were outdoors, it did look like outdoors. The lighting was natural. The things, trees and stuff had, movement.
And all those Cylons walking through that tall grass was very much outdoors, not on a soundstage.
Yeah. Now I heard a story in an interview with a costume designer, Jean-Pierre Dorliac. It was the director's idea. It was apparently not in the script. Director's idea to have the Cylons wade through the water, and in so doing, they ruined half a dozen Cylon costumes. And those costumes had to be completely remade because they may have looked waterproof, but they were not.
Okay. We all know that their vision was severely limited due to the design of the helmets and stuff. I don't know if you guys were able to see it, but they not only were they tentative, they genuinely looked frightened. I could see that now because I know because when they're wading through the water, the way they looked incredibly tense. I was like, okay, because you never know, man. That's heavy stuff. You can't see. I can imagine the fear that they had. Genuinely walking through water, not being able to see, and then possibly falling under. Yeah, I could understand that.
I guess the director was the writer, so it doesn't matter whether it was in the script, does it?
That's right. And I think he's also a producer there. So
Oh.
the boss says, "Do says I wrote it, I'm directing it, and I'm paying for it." I know Mr. Belisario doesn't speak that way, but I just made that up. Let's see. Yeah, no, please, by all means, continue. That was my notes that the Viper did look good on the the crash site and stuff. And then Starbuck pulls his head out. Actually, he pulls himself out of the Viper, and he's wounded. The wound looked good too.
Mhm.
It looked real. You know, it was in his upper thigh area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that where you're flying and you crash, and it's always the part that that you least expect that's going to get hurt. When you're in a car crash, you don't get your fingers, you don't get stuff, you get the bigger parts of the body. So I could see that.
So once the Cylons have Starbuck captured, is that when we cut to Baltar? Or is that when we cut to Adama being sick?
Starbuck is injured and captured. Baltar.
Okay.
Yeah, Adama is a little bit later because in my
Did you
notes,
guys?
Starbuck is injured and captured. Baltar is pleased with Spectre. These are my notes. And then the young lords rescue Starbuck, and then Adama is ill. That's how my notes read.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
A quick question for you guys. Did
No.
you think that Spectre looked like a walking peppermint stick with like a glorified sparkly bracelet
Candy
on his head?
striper.
That
No,
candy
no, I
striper
was a candy
Cylon.
striper. No, no, no.
Yeah, peppermint flavored Cylon.
Very
He was
funny.
an older
What
model.
were they
remember.
thinking?
That's right. He was an older model.
A little-
Voiced by Murray Matheson, the
I know
guy
that
who
name.
he would later play Sire Geller in Greetings from Earth.
Not the president, right? Oh no, wait, no, Greens from Earth. No, that's different. Yes.
From the Council of the 12.
Yes. Okay. Oh wow.
Right, right.
I did think it did look odd, Baltar. It definitely did.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought that.
Eh,
Weird.
it's because he was a Lucifer.
Well,
You
Lucifer wears
expect
all solid colors. Looks good.
What I think is funny is how Lucifer he's jealous.
He's jealous. Yeah.
Mm,
It's funny, man.
that's great stuff. Yeah, the
It-
innuendo and the little backbiting and
Well,
all this
that's where he
Oh, yeah.
says, "Do you believe that Felder carb?"
Daggett drivel.
Right, Daggett dribble. I think I did write that down a little bit. That was funny. That might have been a little right. That's a little bit later when he says Daggett dribble, but I didn't write down where he said Felder carb. But that was hilarious.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how
Spectre's just
weak Boltar is. I'm sorry, present
he
company.
can be buttered up.
Oh yeah. I mean, forgive me, but
I'm a better Boltar.
he's easy.
Yes, you are.
Sadly.
and Spectre is a master of the suck up.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Like Victor was shoveling shit the whole time at Baltar. No wonder Lucifer went crazy.
Oh, I'm sorry, he's still unconscious.
Oh, I think he might have been terminated.
And his line
we
is,
need
well,
to
you know,
get out
we
of here.
kill humans. We're not good at saving them. That was logical.
I
you know?
did like that line. I did
Yeah.
like that one a
Mhm.
lot. That was what I
I did
noted.
too. That one was good. And folks, if I end up losing contact with you guys, my computer may have frozen.
Uh-oh.
We can see you.
So this is funny. If s- Admiral, Admiral, you sent me the image of Spectre, and I was going to try to bring it over, and it froze.
Not
Oh
entirely.
yeah. Well, I can't do anything. No comments. Okay, there it is. There it
Oh.
is. Whatever. I wanted to show the screen, and you know what? I guess Baltar is right, folks. Check it out. This is an image by Universal Studios. It
Yep.
is a candy cane,
It's a
man.
candy. Well, it's
Mhm.
candy striper. I mean,
It is a
Candy
candy.
cane.
I
Well,
mean,
it was late November. It was going to be Christmas soon.
well, that makes
Oh
sense.
my God,
It's
you're
probably a
right.
costume that they were going to use for something else, and this was available, or the material was available.
I don't know how they would use that costume for something else because you had Felix Silla with this thing on his shoulder and the head up above, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
You know
they
what
had a
I've-
large box to wrap.
What I've always found funny is Lucifer. Sometimes he's in red, sometimes with the high collar, sometimes without. And then one time he's in gold. And what strikes me is Lucifer changes clothes more often than Baltar does.
That is true.
Mhm.
Baltar must smell terrible. I doubt they have
Oh.
showers on the base star.
I wouldn't
Oh,
think
God.
who
so,
would smell them? Who's there to smell them?
because the Cylons don't like water, so it's.
Mhm. Just a thought.
Well, the other thing I got
Did you put
I
that
noticed
image
in
in
this
my head?
episode with the costuming and light and anytime they showed the Cylons, they were always reflecting lights off of them, so we'd know that they were shiny. There was a lot. I noticed that a lot.
Yeah,
Like,
they're in that castle supposedly lit by candles, and
Yeah.
the reflections off the Cylons are brighter than the candles.
Yeah. And they have little like lens flare stars and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. That I got a kick out of that. It was pretty we got to make sure everybody knows how shiny the Cylons are.
Yeah.
They're well buff.
It just looks awesome, though. Cylons in a castle. I don't know why it works, but I think it looks great.
And except for the
Muscles,
feathers, I
armor,
mean, the
you
kids'
know, there you
costumes
go.
are pretty good too.
I couldn't hear you.
I couldn't hear you either, Greg.
Oh, I said except for the feathers, I thought the kids' costumes were pretty good in this one.
Oh, you didn't like the FTD messenger helmet?
No.
I did not. It looked like a demented Valkyrie. That's all I saw when I saw that. A
But
demented
Liz, you gotta
Valkyrie on
remember,
unicorns.
they used their budget for the crash and dressing up
The horse.
dressing up the Viper to look like it did what we were talking about earlier, how good that looks. So that's where the budget went. So
Yeah, but I could have done better with anything but
well, Liz, you should have been there. That's all there is to it.
that.
The costume designer has gone on record as saying Miri's costume is his favorite one that he did for Galactica. Don't know why, but I don't know. I don't remember if she had feathers or not.
I don't think she
She had
did.
feathers.
Did
She
she?
had feathers kind of on her shoulders and kind of a little bit around her waist and her thighs. Where the
She have a
dress
sort of
kinda-
necklace of feathers.
feathery bones, maybe
Yeah,
something like kind of like that.
kind of Flintstones style. Huh?
Kind of a cross between Flintstones and American Indian, maybe.
Mhm. Anywho,
So we got. I'm
So,
driving.
so you're saying that it was part of a leftover costume from Miramani?
Yeah, Miramani's nickname is Miri. That's how it all fits together.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I'm sending the picture of her outfit, Michael. The link. She's got 2 horses with lovely horned hats on.
Well, yeah, they were unicorns.
Those are the greatest things. Looks like somebody squished ice cream cones into their heads.
Yes. But, if you got to put a horn on a horse, I mean, why not give it a fuzzy hat?
Sure.
They kind of look
lost
like
Roger.
feathers, but not very big ones. Like maybe, I don't know. But I thought. I mean, the kids were good. I mean, usually, kids in shows can be unpredictable, especially at those ages.
Yeah, Galactica did better than average with its child actors, I think.
I agree. I kind of shook my head there at the end when Kyle realized that Starbucks was right about the betrayal. And I'm just like, the only thing that went through my head was, when he goes, "Oh, Starbuck, you're right." So going through my head, and I'm literally throwing it at the TV. Was, gee, yeah, think so?
Oh, I know
like,
a lot of young people
damn.
that have never been told no and can never be told no. Sometimes into their 30s.
Or 50s. I know a few.
Yep.
Did we seriously lose Roger? Oh, there he is.
There
I'm
he is.
sorry, folks.
So now he's back. Then I'm going to put up the picture.
Thank you. She's cute, man. She's gorgeous. She was one of those few that, as she aged, she aged very well.
Oh, she did age very well.
Yeah, she did.
Mhm.
I think she still has aged very well. I didn't mean to say she's left us, but yes. But thank you for that. No, folks, I apologize. It was one of those rare moments. Forgive me. I did receive a phone call from someone that I had not spoken to in several months. For them to call me,
Oh.
I gotta take that call. I didn't even have a chance to tell you guys, so I apologize. That's why I'm glad I'm back. So it's just like I say, you've got that one person that rarely ever calls you. If they do, it's like, yeah, you gotta take that call. So I'm sorry.
Don't be.
We didn't get far.
But thank you for that image. We didn't get far. That's funny.
We were talking about feathers.
Yeah, you missed the feather talk.
She had a lot of feathers on.
Well, critically, were Kyle's feathers in his helmet, so.
Oh, yes, I see them up there. Okay. You see, I'm not sure if you guys were able to tell, but when I was on the phone, I noticed that I had my Yankee theme on. I'm like, oh, I got to change that. So I had a chance to move it over to the Battlestar one. So I didn't want to be that.
I didn't notice.
But it's all good. So, Sire, if you don't mind, I mean,
wasn't the
how
Milwaukee
apropos.
Brewers.
The one time I asked you to take over and I had to leave. That's funny. I don't think I saw that, but I know that you know quite a bit, Sire. That's why I think it's kind of cool that you are leading us in this episode. Squire. Oh, I called you Sire.
I got promoted.
You were Squire in the other one. Now you're a Sire. So yes. So are we? Should we be counselors on the Council of the 12? Ooh.
I don't know, because
Well, if we're the
council,
fleet, I mean, we're the fleet admirals here, so.
Oh, that's right.
and all the council ever does really is screw things up.
In the original series, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you guys are the admirals, which battle stars are you on? Because you all
We're
can't be
fleet
on
admirals.
Galactica.
No, we're fleet admirals. So we have many battle stars under
okay.
us. I would
Ah.
never dare say that I am CNC of the Fifth Fleet. That was Commander Kane. There's no one else. And if we go by the American nomenclature, if I was so blessed, I would probably be Third Fleet.
Okay.
And
All
for those
right,
of you that know, folks,
so
that would be West Coast, United States.
which Battlestar represented PyCon?
Oh, nice bit of trivia. Okay, PyCon, that was the
The Pisces, which would be
okay. I don't know. Go for it. Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know. I'm looking it up. That's why I
Oh.
asked it aloud.
I thought you already had the answer. The only reason why we ask questions is because we have the answers.
Well, maybe somebody in the audience knows, or Squire Adama there.
I thought it was cool that in the reimagining of Battlestar Galactica, we had the answer to the other two Battlestars, right? In the
Yeah.
miniseries, it was answered. Do you guys know what the other two were?
Which other
Well, we had
two?
Atlantia.
Of the original
Yeah.
5 Battlestars, because it was Galactica, Atlantia. We found out in the last episode it was the Columbia. What were the other two? Allegedly. And it was answered in the miniseries of the reimagining.
I don't know what they were in that one, but I know
The
there were
Trident. And what was the last one?
the what? I'm sorry.
The Trident. And if I remember correctly, it was the Pacifica.
Now,
Yep.
see, in the original, the 1978 pilot, there were 5 Battlestars we heard the names of. Some of them were just heard over radio traffic. We had obviously the Galactica and Atlantica. Then over radio traffic, we heard them talk about the Pacifica, Triton, and Acropolis.
I did not know that you could actually hear the other ones. You can?
Yeah, it's all in the by your command transcript.
Wow. The Acropolis. I'd never heard that one.
Yeah, actually, it's said one time, and it sounds more like Atropolis with a T. But there are some other sources out there I've seen that call it Acropolis.
Okay.
Which would make sense because that's the name of the center of Athens where all the ruins are, where the Temple of Zeus was, or the Temple of Athena was. Actually, no, Temple of Zeus, Temple of Athena, a bunch of other stuff. Which I should remember, and I don't. There was something with the muses, too, and I can't remember the name of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't studied that since the 6th grade.
Solaria and Cerebus are mentioned in the novelizations. Prometheus was on a list given to the production department. That makes 11 in the original Battlestar Galactica sources.
Oh, wow.
I've heard somebody mention one called Bellerophon or something of that, but I don't know where that comes from.
Well, I know there was a Bellerophon in Star Trek.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, like that. All right. So what else do we have? Where did we leave off? I know you were showing pictures, and I thank you for showing them to me. I'm thrilled.
See, we just do the first scene with Baltar and Lucifer and Spectre?
Yeah, we went through that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so I guess right after that, we had the young lords rescuing Starbuck, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. But someone said they didn't like the son and the dad, the acting of those two.
Yeah, that was
Ross.
Right?
Ross. Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice that they were. I found them super annoying. It didn't come across to me, but yeah, I guess it was all right.
Well, Kyle was supposed to be annoying, at least at first, when he was being a jerk.
Yeah, and then he kind of shifted when he kind of said, "Oh, Starbuck, you should be in charge." Then his whole attitude changed. So
Okay. All right. Well, it was wonderful how they did save Starbuck. That was cool how they planned the operation. And then right after that, I believe we went to the scene where Adama is ill, right?
Okay.
I love how Boxy snuck past.
Hmm.
Cassiopeia knew the whole
He
time.
thinks he snuck past.
Well, I know. That's why I said Cassiopeia knew the whole time. Like
Oh, I'm sorry.
watching and smiling.
Yeah. So why was Adama ill? I think I may have missed that.
I think we all missed it, at least unless I really missed it too. I was surprised. I said, did they skip an episode or did I miss something? And
Or
I'm
I was
because
thinking,
the
did I
last
fall asleep?
episode he was on that planet. Maybe he picked something up from Bellaby. I don't know.
I don't think it was ever disclosed unless it
No,
was
it
done
wasn't.
privately, and then it was never filmed. But I just thought, okay, he just got like what we all get, the flu or
Well,
whatever.
remember, things were filmed out of order and they were shot out of order, and they they had done quite a bit of filming, and then they went in and did stuff later. So there were probably some storylines that were lost.
That never got filmed, maybe, or just got cut.
Maybe they
Probably didn't
maybe
air
they
them.
had planned for this one to air after Fire in Space when he has a heart operation.
Oh, is possible.
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
Or maybe
I
that
can't think
they hadn't written him into the episode, and he was contractually obligated to be in the episode, and they just tacked it on.
I like that one too. Yes.
I
can't
should have
think of
looked
any
at the
history-wise.
script.
As far as I can't think of anything history-wise that would have
Yeah.
physically caused Lauren Green to have to be in bed. A lot of times with actors, when they have that, they've got a bad back, something's happened where they can't, be moving around too much.
Yeah, there might have been a real world temporary reason why he
Yeah.
had to be in bed.
Well, hey, if he was ill and he's getting paid for it and he's able to perform, good for him.
Mm-hmm. Boxy tells him the story of Mushy Land, the planet of Daggets.
It was cute.
And Sire Muffet.
Yes.
Yes. It's full of daggets.
Muffy. He was calling him Muffy in the episode.
Yeah, Sire Muffy.
Yeah, I think he does call him it. Oh, and remember, what was that thing? I think we had it what they eat. Is it mushies or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when I was a kid, I didn't care for that.
Well, I thought it was like, in Star Trek, they had all the food-colored chunks of apple and melon and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wondered if they did food-colored marshmallows or something.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
You don't see him eat much on the show. So.
No, but I know it was a big deal between Starbuck. Oh, when he goes to the Rising Star, I think it was, and that's what he was serving or ordering mushies or whatever it was. I forget. But after Adama falls ill, he's told the story, but the patrol is ambushed. So, oh no, wait, I'm sorry, folks. I apologize.
Oh yeah.
No, I backed
Boomer,
up a little bit.
Boomer and Ty come in. That's a later scene,
that's
right?
right.
Yeah, that's right. I apologize. I think I got a little thing in my notes right here. Ooh, please. Squire Adama, if you could continue where we were. Adama being ill, and then after that it was, I think I've got a hold of my notes right here.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't have any notes.
No, right now it's all good. I know that earlier they stated that Boomer and Apollo, before they go out to try to save him, they've got maybe 24 centaurs at most. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to make it back. And they were talking about taking Vipers out there, which how do you take a Viper out there if it's a one-person thing to go save someone? So they would have to take a shuttle anyway, but they said no Vipers, so we'll just take a shuttle. Man, I think that's suicide without cover, but that's okay.
There was another episode or scene where it looked like somebody else was riding in a Viper with somebody.
Well, they did have in
how
1980,
that
they
worked.
did have the two-person Vipers.
Okay, that I didn't recall, but
Yeah.
remember the plot hole as well. Apollo says at least in the original 3-hour episode, he says, if you're gonna go to the planet, at least let me take you in a Viper. You'll have a chance.
Yeah.
But we see the Viper, and it's a single person Viper.
Adama had to ride on the handlebars.
I know he's
Only
his dad, but
explanation.
yeah.
Well, or the other, they didn't have the money to build at the time the two-person Viper, and they only had the one-person Viper. And they just hoped that people wouldn't notice that they said that.
I noticed that as a 9-year-old, and I noticed it today as a 54-year-old.
Well, I'm sorry that you had that issue.
Stop being sorry. You're already here on the program. Let it go.
Yeah, that's really sorry.
That's why we're on this program, is because
There'd be
That's
room for
right.
him if they removed the laser generators.
That's right.
yes,
So you're right. We were talking about Mushy Land, the fall of full of Daggets and Sire Muffet. Now, I guess Starbuck was already with them, and they talked to the kids about pulling off a trade, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the Cylons were actually kind of creative on this. But come on, man! On the other side of the river, I could tell it was a dummy full of straw. So, but it's okay. I guess the kids couldn't tell that their
The
dad.
kids didn't have their glasses on. That's good.
Or the kids, figured, well, that's dad, not very animated, but whatever.
There's no optician on the planet.
No.
Right.
No.
And it was good in that the Cylons are conniving. They're good. And it was really cool how, they would have on how they were going. Starbuck believed it was an ambush, and sure enough, it was. Starbuck was right, and they were able to get away. And that's where the young man says, "You're in command, right?"
Mhm.
yeah.
And he
Yeah.
says, "Well, you'll be my lieutenant, right?"
Yes.
Okay, Captain, my captain. Oh, I'm sorry, that's another science fiction story.
Yeah.
Whatever. Lord of the Rings. Anyway, okay. They immediately start coming up, and that's where Starbuck says, "This is what we're gonna do. We got to save your dad, and this is how we're gonna go about it. You guys all know what you're gonna do," which was kind of cool. They implied they'd already planned it. They said, "Let's go over it," and they started
Let's sing
singing
it.
the song.
Which, to be fair, is more of just a poem than a song.
Yes.
Yeah. I have no singing voice. I never judge anyone, but it was painful.
It wasn't really sung. It was rhymed.
That was rhymed.
It was rhymed to rhythm. It was
Rhymed
it was
to
set
rhythm?
It was a
rhythm.
rap.
It was a rap. Okay,
It was
let's
a
keep
rap.
going.
Before there was rap.
Oh, you mean Blondie?
A rap without
1970
beat.
something?
Ah,
Rapture?
Yeah.
Okay, it was a rap. Okay, that's
The man from Mars starts eating cars.
A lot of people get angry when I tell them. I said that was the first rap song, folks. You guys are
Pretty
wrong.
much. Yeah.
And boy, do they flip out! No, no, no! I'm like, hey, it's musical history, but it's okay. She was actually just rapping at the time. So, but anyway, so they set it up, and I believe they talk about through the tunnel. That was the important phrase, and then a whump. I forget in the rhyme or whatever it was.
We
And
cross
then-
the moat to the petro dump and blow it up with a great big whoop.
Oh my God! Yes, I got the last word of it. Okay, the next
Good,
one was
good.
water. Do you have that one, Squire?
At the
Adama?
bridge, the youngest daughter drops tin cans into the water.
into the
Oh
water.
my God! And the firstborn / horn.
Yeah.
And around the castle, the son firstborn rides the gallop and blows his horn.
Good notes.
Wow! You
I
wrote that
went
down?
by your command.
Okay.
Transcript.
That's still cool though. That is neat. So
I had that up because I thought we would get here at some point.
Oh my God! And we did. That was funny. I'm glad that just.
To a dramatic reading.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, no.
No, we canceled that show.
Two. That's it. Somebody else can take the next two.
I'm like, oh man, we're not gonna do a dramatic reading. That's funny. Hey, by the way, on a side note, who is the young lady that was? I think she was Core Command. She's in almost every episode, and she's the one that would release the Vipers.
Sarah Rush.
Yeah.
Sarah Rush.
Yeah, I actually tried to get her on our show.
What happened?
Same old, agents doesn't get back to me. And stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That would be interesting. Nothing personal. I don't think she's been interviewed very much for Battlestar Galactica, but she was in almost every episode.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I love
and
her braid.
they old TV guide ad on this page. What's that, Greg? What do you have?
Oh, somebody wrote about did like a review of the episode, but on their page they had like an old TV guide ad. The link above that.
Oh, okay, folks. I'm gonna go to it right here. Then
But
I
go
have
to
it.
it. Zoom in
Is this
on
it?
it. Zoom in on the because that way, otherwise we'll have to give the guy credit and talk about him. And I didn't read his article, so
You know
I feel
what?
bad.
I can't. I'm not able to make it larger.
Control and scroll.
Whoa! Stop swearing. Yeah, hit Control and scroll. I'm stupid.
It's not doing it.
Not doing anything.
Wow. Well, anyway, that's an old TV guide ad. So now we got
Okay. But folks, the review was by Joe Bedouin, so
Yep.
we'll go ahead and do that. That is so cool. I hope you guys can see that image. Back in my day, we had TV Guide. Okay, Boomer. Oh, okay, whatever. That's a good image. I don't recall seeing that on TV Guide. I don't think we had that issue of TV Guide. Look good.
Oh, it's getting late. I'm sinking in my chair.
Yeah, I know we are. But you know what? We are actually
You're
getting close.
becoming somebody else that we know.
Now, while right before the attack goes off, Spectre's playing up to Boltar, and then Lucifer just flips out. He's like, "Do you believe that dagger dribble?" And then we
I
hear,
know.
yeah, we hear off in the distance the horn goes off, and then boom, 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 explosion after explosion after explosion. Like, what's going on? Oh, we're just eradicating the planet because we've added a few.
We are destroying the last of the human habitations.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was funny. And Boltar's like, "Oh yes, good. Well, proceed." And I guess they're gonna try to rescue him. We see the entire exciting sequence where they get in. It was kind of funny how Starbuck goes in with Miri, of course. Oh, they're holding hands through the tunnel. Oh, that's why I took that note. And then they're actually holding hands, and Starbuck opens the door. Dude, the entire phalanx of Cylons was in there. And even Starbuck was like, "Yeah, it's not gonna happen." that was kind of funny. And then the alert is issued. They send out, I guess, the first division or whatever. And then what's his name? Spectre says, "All of you, get out there! Get rid of all of them." And there's no one left in the room except for those two. And they're able to go upstairs. And Dad is cheering them on from his window. Get him, kids. And he's like, "Stand back!" Boom, blows the lock off, which was great. Dad runs out, and well, they did it. And Dad is rescued. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I love during that scene. I think during then there was a cutaway part where Boomer and Apollo are looking at all of what they're seeing as all this massive attack, and they're like, "Oh God, we got to get in there and help them." And they walk in just after everything is rescued, and they're like, "What happened here?"
Yeah.
They thought they needed to be the ones to get in there and rescue Starbuck, and it turned out to be completely the opposite.
Yep.
Well, I think Boomer says something. He's like, "Dude, there's a lot of stuff going on down there." And I think they're like, "Okay, well, let's see if we can help them out." Because I think they thought that they were engaging the Cylons, or the Cylons weren't getting, they would try to help them out. Because earlier, which I did not write down, Apollo said, "You saw him go down, so let's go to the point." And Boomer did not see him go down.
Yeah.
So he
It's
says,
a big planet, Apollo.
yeah. Ugh. Yeah. That, you know, he should have followed him down.
You should have.
Well, wasn't he running out of fuel?
Oh, they're always running out of.
I know that's
Yeah.
all.
The proper protocol is you follow your wingman down as far as you can.
Yeah. But that's okay. Boomer did air, and they were able to get back in there and save them. So that's okay. So,
But did he bring a clean uniform?
that's
No,
No,
right.
he did
Didn't
not.
promise
he
it.
did not. Mm-mm.
But the shuttle itself is kind of big, so hey, you know what? At least he has room to just lay on out over there. So after Dad is rescued, Baltar is like, "What's going on?" And I think he's talking about ending everything. And was it Spectre that said it, or was it Baltar that said, "Oh no, it was Spectre that said it. Scorched planet policies." And Baltar says, "Oh yeah, excellent." I forget exactly what the exchange was. Do you remember?
It was
Squire
something to
Down?
that effect. I
Yeah.
still have it on the.
I think
Was
Spectre
he
was saying that
the-
he was getting rid of all the human
poem.
habitation, and Baltar said, "Oh, scorched planet." I think it's actually how it went down.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You're a wonder, Spectre.
Yes. You know, it is kind of funny when you think about it that they're machines that follow orders, but they don't want to be on the planet, so they want off, and they're willing to BS superiors.
Yeah, that is hilarious. How like this is the one time that instead of just being defeated, the Cylons just kind of say, "We're out of here.
Yeah.
We're just gonna vacate this planet."
Well, didn't he say earlier in the episode like half of them are rusting or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
the
was
planet
kind of
atmosphere.
funny. It's almost very human, but it was cool. The whole thing is they eradicated the planet, which was no such thing. It was kind of funny. Now, Mighty's, but what about the other linemen? The other Cylons? Don't you think they're going to put in their report? I mean, we all know that Kirk lost the Enterprise for 13 minutes in Star Trek Into Darkness because he didn't write up a report. And in the Hunt for Red October. So, do you think there was a plot by Spectre and the other Cylon to make the Cylons think that they were evacuating, but in reality they were eradicating? What do you think? No.
I think you're overthinking.
I think they just, I think they just wanted off that planet because.
So even the frontline Cylon Centurions were willing to lie? That's funny. That is hilarious.
You don't have to necessarily know you're retreating if you're ordered to go somewhere.
But
that's true.
Well, that's true. But don't you think that? Well, okay. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
You're overthinking.
Drones.
I'm sorry. Let me think back to when I was a drone. Okay, I'm wasting time.
Spectre makes the report and it gets accepted.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm wasting time. I like it. All right. When Starbuck and Apollo meet up with, when Apollo and Boomer meet up with Starbuck and everyone, and they're talking about everything that happened, it's Apollo that says they're children.
Oh.
And Starbuck says, no, they're warriors. That was kind of cool, I suppose. And Starbuck is making a pass at the young lady. He says, "Man, you would have broken half of the hearts on the Galactica, including mine."
Including his.
Yeah. And I think she wanted to go, but Daddy and the family was there, so she wasn't going to go anywhere. So, and it was kind of a quick cut on how they ended that episode. So,
yeah, a little freeze frame as he looks back.
Yeah.
But don't forget, Kyle did get the lieutenant's pups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Starbuck
at
even
that
has
point, had I been far be it from me, but had I been Starbuck, I would have said, "I know that's a lieutenant, but no one needs to know, Captain."
yeah, I
You
know,
are
I
ca-
know.
I would have told the kid, "You are captain of the guard." I would have told him that, but that's okay. So, it was cool how he gave him his flight insignia right there. That was neat. So, they
I
are not
like
children; they're warriors. Go ahead.
I like Boomer standing there while Starbuck is making out with Miri and saying, "I don't know how he does it."
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. And even Apollo, I don't know. Ah, it is funny. Well, he's a good-looking young man. There's no doubt. I know he was in his 30s, but that's the thing about I've mentioned about Starbuck. He's not necessarily an a-hole. He's into his own thing, the world according to Starbuck. But I don't take Starbuck as a jerk. I,
Yeah, he doesn't do things out of spite.
yeah, he's confident in his ability, but he doesn't talk a big game unless he's playing pyramid, right? And even then, I don't recall him ever talking a game, like smack talk. Just when he'd win, he'd like read him and weep, boys, something like
He's kind
that.
of like Lando Calrissian. He's
Hmm.
he's suave. He's
Yeah,
trying to make an easy way for himself in life.
Okay, but in Solo, remember Lando is a little snottier throughout the movie, where he says, "Oh no, the adults are talking." I remember that, and there were other things where he's a little snotty during the card games. So, okay, and don't get me wrong, I did like the young man's name Glover as
Oh God, he
Lando.
was fantastic.
Hmm.
Him as Lando in Solo, I cannot believe people don't want to see that movie. Oh my goodness. What is his name? It's not Crispin Glover. That's the kid from
It's his
Back to the Future.
son. It's Daniel Glover.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Him, it's almost worth the price of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my phone started up. I guess I got a little excited.
Oh, you got the purple one
yeah.
too?
What, on this?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the Otter Box.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got the purple one. It was cheaper than the black one,
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
and it was going to arrive sooner. I don't know what I did with it now.
Oh, I like that. He's Han Solo, a bit of a scoundrel, cool most of the time, but can get flustered. I like that, Ross. Yes.
Yeah, that worked.
Yeah. I- You know, I yeah. It's cool. It's good. So tell me your thoughts, guys. The Young Lords, or yeah, this is the Young Lords, episode 11. Go ahead,
Not a
Baltar.
great
Oh,
episode,
great.
but it's enjoyable. It has enjoyable moments. It's Starbucks centric. It's
Another Planet Side episode.
planet side. You get more of the interaction between Baltar and Lucifer, which is usually
Yeah.
amusing as an adult.
Spectre was good too, man.
That was funny. I had not remembered that, but that was funny, isn't it? Seeing that decades later.
Michael Baltar Squire.
I love it because of the Cylons. If you like Cylons, I think this episode has more screen time, per minute than minute for minute than any other, because you've got all these Centurions, you've got two IL Cylons, and the great interaction with, as Greg said, with Baltar and Spectre and Lucifer, and the rivalry there. It's just lots of Cylon fun.
And hearing Jonathan Harris's voice say Feldekar's priceless.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Do you believe that Felger carve?
Obviously, he did. So there you go.
Yes, we talked about how easy it is to play him to Baltar, man. Yeah, that is.
Flattery.
Yeah, gets you everywhere apparently. Yeah, Baltar.
I really actually liked when Starbuck crashed as far as filming of how they did the Viper. It was very realistic and it
Yeah.
looked very good. That and the
Mhm.
sarcastic humor that was going on between Spectre and Lucifer and Baltar was
Mhm.
is stellar. Other than
Yes.
that, not so great.
Was it? Oh, okay. Now Ross is in line with all of us. That series, Lucifer Spectre, had some interesting programming. Very good, Ross. They were more than willing to lie, flatter, cheat, or just do about anything to further their position. Yeah, actually, Spectre wants off the planet. Yeah, you're right. So
God,
this
they
one
were
didn't do
human.
it for you then, Baltar. But didn't Spectre and
Not
Lucifer do
really.
their job with you?
Oh God, yes. I absolutely love, like I said, the sarcasticness between, Spectre and Lucifer.
Mhm.
I thought all of that was great, They'd lie, cheat, steal. My God, they were human. They're more human than the humans.
All right, fair enough. But you didn't like the episode.
The rest of it, no, it was just a little bit too cheesy for me. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Appreciate that. Michael.
I
Admiral.
enjoy, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was. I did enjoy the Cylons, as I said earlier. I mean, it was especially Spectre. That just made the episode for me. Just seeing him interact with everything that was happening and lying, and other people, lie sometimes. So there you go.
I've said this ad infinitum, ad absurdum, folks. There's more to these episodes, and I'm glad I'm getting it in this rewatch. And I do appreciate the humor. I didn't catch it the first time around. Looking at it now as an adult, this was good stuff. But yes, it is thin. I didn't remember anything other than Miri from this episode. I did remember vaguely that Starbuck crashed. I knew that, and he was running around doing that was it. I didn't remember the castle. I
Of
didn't
course
remember
you
any of that. I
remember
I
Miri.
certainly
remember the
didn't
Of
remember
course
the
you'd
castle.
song.
remember Miri. A beautiful blonde bombshell. Of course
You
you'd
know what?
remember Miri.
I just thought she was attractive. Sorry. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I didn't even know what blonde bombshell was as a 9-year-old. So,
Oh, you
but
were
yeah.
slow.
Yeah, Boltar. Is there a point? I was 9.
No.
I was 9. I was
Boxy
more
Boxy
interested in
said some
comedy.
people are naturally slow.
He does
Yeah,
say that,
I'm
doesn't
Not
he?
sorry.
stupid, just slow.
Yeah.
Slow. Yeah.
He did say that. That was funny. All right. Well, I guess I should be in the universe. All right. Are there any other thoughts on what we've done? How far we've come so far? Anything on that? We're not halfway through the production. We're getting close. We finished up episode 11. There are 24 episodes, right?
Yes.
I think
Where's
that in
25?
the next one that we review, we will be halfway through.
Yes.
So, all right. Um, I I don't have any other comments for the episode for today. These were two good episodes to rewatch. Yeah, second one was a bit thin. I did enjoy the first one more so than the other one, but yeah, she's cute, man. I was watching, so I did enjoy it on a personal level. I'm sorry, I'm old, sexist. What can I say? All right. Other than that, I don't
On
know
a
if there are any.
totally,
Baltar?
there's one thing I wanted to
Oh,
mention,
please.
and it doesn't have really anything to do with Battlestar, but it does have to do with a lot of science fiction and a lot of science fiction in space.
Hmm.
Today is Bill Mummy's 70th birthday.
Oh yes.
Thank you. 70? Wow.
70.
70 years young, man. That's another friend of
Yep.
fandom too.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That is so cool. I did not know that. That is really neat. Happy birthday, Mr. Mummy. Thank you for everything. What was the episode? Twilight Zone, one of the most frightening children in the world. Oh my God. That was crazy. And I appreciated how UPN did a follow up series of the Twilight Zone. and he was in it. Did you guys see that episode with his daughter?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
Yes, I did.
was that was a wonderful follow up. So that was neat. Well, folks,
I always
everything.
wanted to be that kid.
Ooh, hey, ultimate power. Wish him into the cornfield, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't need to dream of that. I was going through that every day. Well, I do want to let everyone know that I apologize. I will not be able to make next Thursday. So I believe we did kind of agree that we were not going to have an episode next Thursday, but
Yes.
our next
Correct.
episode scheduled, and it looks like we are going to continue for a while now. I may be able to do it straight through. I didn't expect to. My original plan was to start in December, bleed into January, and then pick up back again in May. So I'm glad that we're able to continue. Folks, Back to Galactica will not be on. Yes, he could have used him at 20,000 feet, Ross. Definitely could have used him. I like that. The show will not be on. The program will not be on next Thursday, but we will continue on February 15th, the day after Valentine's. And how apropos, the living legend, right? That's the one that's coming up.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait. I cannot wait. And then we're going to talk about how we're going to do the other one, because then we have Fire in Space, which is the one time it's a standalone. And then, of course, we have another phenomenal two-parter. So we'll see how we're going to address that. Appreciate that, Ross. Yeah, we're taking a week off, but it's more due to me than anything else, and I apologize. I'm thankful that my co-hosts are able to accommodate my inherent lack thereof and not being able to make next Thursday. Folks,
What
we're
was by
11
my
episodes
command?
in. Ooh, no, thank you. This is cool, folks. This is a lot of fun. And I thank my co-hosts, Michael, Greg, Adama, and Baltar. This has been a lot of fun. I can't wait. I'm going to miss you guys next week, but I look forward to seeing you guys in 2 weeks. And I guess that's going to be it for now. I'm going to have to rush off. And I do want to give a shout out to one of my classmates. Tomorrow is Groundhog Day, but Michael, happy birthday, buddy. I get together with 3 classmates on Fridays or every other Friday, and he's the February birthday. My other buddy is March birthday, and I'm the April. Sadly, I'm bringing up the rear. But we're going to get together for breakfast tomorrow. But Michael, happy birthday, brother. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Hopefully, you're doing well. All right. Any other announcements from anyone else? Anything you guys want to say? Otherwise, we're done. We're out of here.
Fleeing from the Cylon tyranny, the last Battlestar, Galactica, leads a ragtag fugitive fleet on a lonely quest. A shining planet known as Earth.